All right. I think we are officially live. We'll see. You guys can drop it in the comments. Make sure that I am live. Say, yes, I can see you. And this way here, I know. I just got the notification. So it looks like we are officially live. We are going to do our Friday Jam session today. And if you have any questions you want me to answer, just drop them in the comments and we'll do that. As you guys know, the Friday Jam session turns into a podcast episode, which should air in a couple of weeks. So what we're going to do is get everyone on here. Then we're going to open it up. I am going to lead it off, though, today with the topic of what do I write and send to my email list? It's a question I get asked a lot. A lot of people get stuck there. They think, well, I have this email list, but now I don't know what to send them. So we're going to talk about that. I'm going to give you 5 different things to kind of get you out of that mindset and to give you some ideas that you can use immediately. And the one thing we want to understand is this is the one big one. We do not want to ignore our list or not send them something because we don't think we have anything to send. We want to send them something so we stay front of mind. All right. So I'm going to do that real quick. Just make sure that everyone's getting on. What's up, Octavio? What's happening, man? Are you running this morning, Octavio? Let me know. What's up, man? Davidson, what's up? How are you doing? Salama's in the house. What's up? How's it going, Salama? Debbie's in the house. Good morning, Scott. I sent you a message on Facebook last night. Just want to make sure you got it. Thanks. I haven't looked at my messages yet, so I probably did. Today I'm going to be traveling too, so it might be probably tomorrow before I'll be able to respond to that. But if I get a minute, I'll jump in there beforehand. But I'm going to be in the car for about 5 hours today. Octavio, you are running. Good, man. Get us some calorie burn. Do that. Work it, man. Work it. What's up, Karen? Good morning. Loved yesterday's office hours. Weather is beautiful here. Awesome. Yeah, I'm glad that you got a lot out of that. What's up, James? What's happening? Chris says, good to go, mate. Australia? Awesome. Okay. All right. And guys, like I said, these Friday Jam sessions, I like to lead off with a theme of some kind. And this will be like how to write emails to your list, especially if you're stuck. But anything that you guys want me to answer, you can just drop it in the comments. We're probably going to stick to a solid 30 minutes. And then from there, I'm going to jump because I want to visit a little bit longer. And then I'm going to take off and start heading back home today. So I'll be in the car for quite a while. What's up, Grace? Good morning. How are you doing? But yeah, guys, if you have any questions, drop them in the comments. And then we'll answer them in the comments. So make sure that you do that. This is what we call our Friday Jam session. What's up, Derek from Atlanta in the house? What's happening, man? How you doing? So yeah, that's what we're going to do. If you guys missed the last episode or the last, I say episode, it's not necessarily the podcast, a coffee talk. I had a very special guest. And that was my granddaughter. She actually did the whole entire coffee talk with me. And she actually was really paying attention. So I think she understands the 3 important parts of building an email list. It's so funny that I actually only was thinking of having her on there just for the intro, but she was so content. I was like, you know what? She's just going to chill. We're going to hang out. So if you guys missed that session, that coffee talk, make sure that you go back and check that out. It was pretty funny, but it was also really good content. So make sure that you do that. Oh, what's up, Jake? It's Jake from Patreon. Hey, what's up, man? Paul. Yeah, I know. Funny, right? It was funny. All right, cool. So we're going to get started. And like I said, if you guys have any questions, let me know. Karen says already went back and reworked some of our emails. It has helped. That's awesome. And you know what? The one thing I want to say is when you're writing these emails, you're going to get better, right? And if you understand the different pieces to what an email is supposed to have, then you can kind of start to play with that, right? And you can start to test certain things. You can test different subject lines. You can test opens. You can, different ways that you phrase things, the way that you structure things, where you put a PS. You might add something like we call a super signature. There's all of those things we can do later, but the main thing is we got to start writing. And it was funny. We did do an office hours call yesterday with our Brand Creators Academy, and Karen was on there, not the Karen that's on here today, our other Karen. We got a bunch of Karens in the Academy. And she was like, I'm thinking about starting to write to my email list of only 7 people. Should I wait till I have more or should I start sending them? And it's like, no, send them now. because really what you want to be doing anyway is you want to be sending emails as you're writing to one person, right? Always think about who is your avatar? Who is that one person that you're helping or that you're explaining things to? That's the way I like to think about when I write. So I may say, you know what, I'm going to write an email today to Karen, right? Because Karen had a question. I'm going to write it to Karen. She's in my audience. She's my avatar, right? Tomorrow it might be, I'm going to write to Chris, right? Because Chris had a question and I'm envisioning this person now, right? So it's a one-to-one, but really one-to-many. So when you write, you want to think about writing to one person, but there's a lot of great things that can happen by just practicing, right? But you got to practice. And one of the big things I see people getting hung up on is they don't write the emails because either A, I don't have a big enough list, or B, I don't know what to write. I don't know what to send them. I don't know what I don't want them to unsubscribe if they don't want to hear from me, like all of those things. Those are things we cannot worry about. We have to send. Okay. So the other thing I want to say here real quick is let me know right now, currently, if you're on here, and even if you're watching the replay, are you currently building an email list and are you sending emails? So just let me know that. So this way here, I know how many people are like, no, I haven't started building an email list yet, or yes, I'm building an email list right now currently. All right. Now also understand this, and I talked about this probably around 2 weeks ago now. What I'm doing here for the next probably 3 weeks is these coffee talks are going to be geared around email marketing. There's actually a training we're building inside of our academy, which is email marketing. It's all about email marketing. It's actually called Email Marketing Accelerator. And we're starting that training Monday, and it's going to be like a 3 to 4 week training. It's also going to be an individual training that we're going to offer outside of the academy. But right now what I'm doing is I'm actually letting you guys in on kind of like all of the different pieces and kind of sharing that with you guys so you guys can learn along the way. I'm also, what I said in about, 6 sessions ago, is I'm actually creating awareness for email marketing and all of the things that you can do with it, all the things that you should be doing with it. And then from there, getting you interested in possibly joining our training. Let's just be transparent here. That's what's happening here. And that's what you should be doing in your marketplace. You should be creating a promotional runway. Again, I'm not going to jump into that today, but I talked about that on another session here. All right. So let's get going. And I see some questions coming in, so I'm going to answer them here shortly. But let's go ahead and again, if you have any questions, I'm going to kick this off. You guys know that are longtime Coffee Talk listeners. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pause for a minute, and then I'm going to pick up and I'm going to basically introduce this as a jam session that will be edited for the podcast. All right. So that's what we're going to do. All right. So keep those questions coming. I see they're coming in now, so keep them coming. All right. All right. So here we go. All right, guys, welcome back to another Friday Jam session. Today, we are going to be talking all about this one question and then any other questions that we get in the meantime. But this question is a big one, and I get it a lot, and I see a lot of people getting stuck, and that is, Scott, what do I write and send to my email list? I started building my email list, but I don't know what to write them, or to write to them or to send to them. Or maybe I don't want to send anything yet until I have my product picked or whatever, right? We have all of these excuses why we're not writing. Today, I'm going to give you 5 different things that you can send your email list. It's going to make it so much easier for you. So this is our Friday Jam session. And what that means, if you're brand new to the podcast or to the Coffee Talks, this is where we answer all of your questions during this time together. That's why it's a Friday Jam session. Get it? Rock Your Brand Podcast Jam session. Okay. If you want to be part of our jam sessions and you're not here live right now, then what you need to do is head over to takeactioncrew.com. Again, that's takeactioncrew.com. And then you can become part of our morning crew. It's where we show up Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And today is one of the highlights for me for the week because it's our jam sessions where we get together, hang out. I get to listen and hear your questions. And then from there, I get to answer them live here on this jam session. If you're listening to this on the podcast, obviously it's not live, but you can become part of our live morning crew if you head over to takeactioncrew.com. So make sure you do that if you haven't done so already. All right, so here we go. I'm going to kick this thing off. Again, what do I write and send to my email list? It's kind of like writer's block. Like, what do you do? So number 1, okay, is the reason why they signed up to your email list is because of what? Okay, so what is the promise? So we talked about this in the last coffee talk. Okay, so you might want to go back and listen to that one. But we talked about this, and that's your lead magnet. Okay, your lead magnet is what is the thing that they signed up for, right? Now, we also talked about there's some mistakes that people are making, and that is like sign up to my newsletter, right? There's nothing there that's going to make me really want to sign up for a newsletter unless I just want to be on someone else's list, right? What is the lead magnet? What is the specific thing, right? How to play heavy metal guitar faster, right? That would be a lead magnet. Then I would say, okay, I want to learn how to play. Well, they're saying, learn how to play heavy metal guitar faster using this simple trick. I want to know what that trick is. So I'm going to enter my name and email address, right? And then I'm going to want to get the thing. So the first email is very simple. It's send your download or what you promised. And actually, your second email could be, hey, I'm checking in. I want to make sure that you received the download. Do you have any questions, right? That would be that next email. So there's 2 emails, right? And if you wanted to, you can even follow up with a third email and say, hey, just checking in. The one part in the download that talks about hand positioning, I want to make sure that you understand what that is. Make sure that you do that exercise. It's so helpful. And here's a link to the download again. So there's 3 emails, right? But so many people think, well, I already sent them 1 email about the download. Everyone got it. No, not everyone got it. Okay. So you need to make sure that you're following up to make sure that the people are actually getting the download, right? So that's number 1. Very, very easy to do. No reason that you shouldn't be sending at least 2 emails and sometimes 3 emails just about the thing that they downloaded to make sure that they got it. All right. Now, the second thing, and this goes along with the download, is the second thing to do is ask questions. Whenever you're thinking to yourself, I don't know what to write my email list, and then a week goes by, 2 weeks goes by, 3 weeks goes by. Okay. So number 1, you can't let your list go that long because sooner or later they're going to forget about you. And then when you send them something, they're like, who is this person again? Unsubscribe, right? So we don't want that. So you should make it a point to send at least 1 email per week, at least minimum 1 email per week. Okay. Minimum. Okay. So you want to ask questions. Okay. And you would ask an open-ended question a lot of times because then you can get that feedback. All right. It's also showing that you're listening. You're like, hey, I'm here. I'm trying to help you. Right. So the question could be something like, are you struggling with guitar? Are you struggling with playing guitar? ? And then inside it could be like, hey, it's Scott. I'm just checking in. I wanted to know what's your biggest sticking point to playing your guitar, right? Let me know and I'll do my best to create some training or, a download or something for you, resources to help you further. Let me know. Reply to this email and I'll get back to you. All right. Here's what we're doing. There's 2 things that are happening. Number 1, we're letting people know that we're trying to help them. Number 2, we're getting a dialogue back and forth. So if that person emails me back, I'm going to type a message back to that person. So what this also does is it allows your or their mail provider, which is Gmail, Yahoo, whatever that they're using, right? It lets them know that you 2 are more or less friends. So it's going to also help you on your deliverability. All right. So it's a great way to get content ideas. And now what happens is, let's say that you only get 1 person to reply, just 1 person that replies, right? And they go, I struggle with scales. So you're like, okay, guy's name is John, right? And then I'm going to create a piece of content. Maybe it's a blog post, or maybe it's just an email that says, hey, I just received an email from John. And John wants to know how to play scales easier, than your typical blues scale, whatever, right? I'm making up stuff here on the fly. And if that was the case, then I would say, here is a video of me showing John how to do this. This might help you as well. So what this does is it automatically sets you up as an expert of some kind in your marketplace. So an authority in your site, right? Or in your website. And then it also shows that, oh, wait a minute, this person's pretty cool. They're answering questions. Do that, right? So that's another great thing is you can get some really good content ideas from asking your email list. All right. So anytime you get stuck yourself, ask them. The email subject line would work really good if you use something like this. I need your help, or help, or can I ask you a quick question? right? Those are just easy, open-ended. And then inside of it, you'd make it even more open-ended where you'd say, hey, reply back to me. I want to know, what are you stuck with? What are you having a tough time with? I want to help you, right? So that's a great way to do it. All right. So number 3, okay. So we talked about number 1, send your download or what you promised and do it multiple times. Number 2, ask questions. What do you need help with? Right. And number 3 is send to your blog or website. Okay. So this is why part of our whole brand building strategy is creating content. A lot of people think it's just to create the piece of content so it gets ranked on Google. That's one piece. The other piece is every time I create a piece of content, I can also email my list to say, hey, we just posted a piece of content on the blog. Go check it out, right? So this also helps you know exactly what you should be sending to your email list, right? And we get direct traffic going over there, which also can help us get ranked quicker because we're sending a signal to Google that people are actually visiting our site, right? So that's why we really do talk heavily about content creation. Okay, it goes very, very well in this brand building process. And I probably should mention right now, if you are interested in grabbing our playbook, if you want to see how this all fits together and really maps it out for you, go to brandcreatorsbook.com. If you go to brandcreatorsbook.com, that's our playbook. That's the same playbook we go by. It's the same one we teach inside of our academy. And you can grab a copy right now. It's going to cost you a little less than a cup of coffee, depending on where you buy your coffee. And yes, I love my coffee, as you guys all know. So brandcreatorsbook.com. That is what we follow to a T. Okay. So number 3, like I said, is send people to your blog or your website. Let them know you just posted something. Or here's something we just did actually yesterday in another brand that I've been building now for about 3 years. We send 3 emails a week, by the way. We took an old post that did really well and we just freshened it up a little bit and we brought it back to the surface and I emailed the list about it again. Okay. We got a 17% open rate on the first email in less than 24 hours. And we got over 1,400 clicks on that. So 1,400 people went from our email list over to that blog content, which technically was older content. We just freshened it up. Okay. A lot of people say, well, I already posted that. Everyone's seen it. No, there's new people that are on your list that have never seen it. Right. So there's ways to get creative with your content, but you got to have the content there. Right. So again, that's send to your blog or website. All right. Now, number 4 is if you are using YouTube, send people to YouTube. Send them to your YouTube channel, right? Because if you are creating content and it doesn't reside on your blog or website because you're not doing that yet, which I recommend everyone starts with your website. It's your home base, as we call it, and that's what we use inside of the playbook. But your website would be your main hub. YouTube would just be something on the outside that would point people to your website as well. Whole nother conversation. But YouTube, let's say that you're only building a YouTube channel right now. Drive them over to your YouTube channel. Now, one little tip here for you, if you are doing this, always put your video in a playlist. Then what you want to do is inside the playlist, you're going to take that link and you're going to send people to that link, not just to the video itself. What that will do is it will allow people to consume that piece of content, and then it will automatically play the next thing in the playlist. So this way here, people don't get distracted and click off to someone else's content, like other people's related videos that are near it. So that's one little tip for you guys. If you guys are doing YouTube, always put in a playlist and always link to the playlist. All right. And then that will allow you to get more people to consume the content within your channel. So that's number 4. Number 5, send to your Facebook page or your group. All right. If you have a Facebook page and you just posted something there, send them to that. If you don't have a website yet, post content on your Facebook page, send people there. Whatever you're doing, you're always going to be creating some type of content that is either helping or giving feedback, or maybe it's just ideas. Maybe it is 23 deck ideas for your backyard and you're into the home DIY market. Maybe you're just going to post that on Facebook because you don't want a website yet. I don't recommend that. I do think you should definitely have a blog and a website. But if you don't, you can always just drive them to your Facebook page or your group. Now, if you have a group or a page, the reason why I would say do a page and then a group is because on a page, we can have it shared. If you put it in a group, usually you cannot, at least the time of airing this, you can't share that outside of the group. Okay. So you want to keep the Facebook page always live, and you're also going to run ads through that and all of that stuff. But that will allow that to be shared. So if your goal here is to try to get that post to go viral, then you would send your list over to that post inside of your Facebook fan page, and then it could be shared. So that's just another thing that you can do. All right. Now, one thing I have here that I noted for myself to remind you is always, always, always make sure that you make the email about them and not about you. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't share your story, but your story needs to be them envisioning themselves at a place where you are, right? So if I'm talking about, okay, I'm here right now. Here's a perfect example. I'm here right now in Virginia. I'm hanging out with my daughter, my son-in-law, and my wife and my other daughter, right? We're hanging out. It's family time. I'm basically going to just drop a little bit in the beginning of the email to let people know where I am, what I'm doing, but then I'm immediately going to roll that into something that will turn into a lesson of some kind. Now, what I've done there is I've also shown people that, okay, Scott is a family guy. Scott is all about being able to have a remote business because that allows him to be with his family during these certain times, right? And then you're thinking to yourself, man, I would love to be able to just pick up my laptop and go like Scott does, right? So in a sense, you're envisioning yourself in that position. How do you get there? Well, what's Scott doing? He's building online brands. Okay, how do you do that, right? Do you see how that happens? So I'm signaling that I want to attract those people. Now, if you read my email and you're like, I want to have a Lamborghini and a yacht, and I want these girls surrounding me everywhere I go and all that, that's not my market, right? You'd be like, that's weird. That kind of turns me off, right? So that would turn you away. That's good. So we attract and we repel in our emails, right? So that's how you can take your story, weave it in a little bit, let people know who the brand is or your mission or what you're about. And then from there, you always then turn it around to positioning it towards them. How is this going to help them, right? So always, always do that. The last thing I want to mention here before we open this up for some quick questions is just some things when you're writing your email. One of the most important things that you can do is really create subject lines that generate curiosity. Okay, so let me give you an example of this. And also, like, questions work really good. So if I was into the play guitar faster market, it would be, want to play guitar faster? Question mark. Try this. Well, if you signed up for my lead magnet, which was about playing guitar faster, and you got that email, it speaks directly to you. And it's also asking, do you want to play faster? And then you're saying, yeah, right? So you answer that question, yes. And then immediately after it says, try this. And you're like, try what? I want to see what this thing is. What should I try? Right? So curiosity, I'm targeting that specific person with that specific, problem or thing that they want to achieve. And then I'm teasing a little bit by saying, try this, right? Because I can't say what it is in the subject line 100% because just not enough room, right? The next thing, let me just kind of go into another subject line. Simple technique to play guitar faster. You'd be like, okay, I want to know what the simple technique is, right? Or how about this one? This is a good one. Stumbled on this new guitar trick. And then I put it in brackets, play faster. So you want to know, what did I stumble on? What is this new guitar trick, right? So it's curiosity based. A lot of times curiosity based emails work the best. Now, it doesn't mean all of them have to be like that, right? You can just ask a question, like I said, or you can just, say something that is, general, but yet it has to still make them say, oh, I want to know what that's about. They don't just want to know that I'm, sitting here in a kitchen, at my daughter's house. Like, people don't care about that. They care about what is this email going to do to help them, right? What is that email going to do if I just wrote about how I play faster? You're like, okay, great, Scott, works for you, but how can I do that? See, I need to turn it around to how is this going to help you? Here's something that I've been doing for guitar scales for the last 6 months, and it's improved my speed by like 20%. You got to check this thing out. And then I'd show you. And then hopefully you can do it too, right? So that's what we're doing. So let me just recap here real quick. Number one, send an email about your download or what you promised multiple times. Number two, ask questions. What do you need help with, right? That would be, hey, what do you need help with? Or need help? Like whatever, right? Send them those open-ended questions. Number three, send to your blog content or your website, okay? Number four, send to YouTube. Let people know. Try to send it to a playlist though, by the way. And number five, send to your Facebook page or group. I would prefer a page. And if you have a post that's in your page, you can always embed that and share it into your group, right? So, but always link them over to the page so that way it's shareable. All right. So with that all being said, guys, let's see what we got here for some questions. I know that we're going to have some, so that's what we're going to do. All right. Here we go. So, okay, I'm seeing some people saying, yes, I'm building right now. Karen says, we send our emails out every Monday morning. At first, it was very scary. Now it has become a habit. And that's exactly right. The more you do it. And also, here's one other thing to say, guys. Make sure that you commit to a time schedule. When is going to be your time that you're going to do it every single week? And then commit to that. Same thing with content. If you're curating content for your site, make sure that every week you say, on every Friday, a new post has to go live, and you commit to it every single week. Consistency is king. Okay. Paul says, yes, I am building. Awesome. Debbie says, no, not yet. You will be, Debbie. Not far off. Should we post to all our social media contacts like Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, etc.? Yes. Like, why not? Right. I had someone on our academy yesterday on our call, and they said, I know, Scott, you're not a huge fan of Instagram, but I've been posting my blog content over there on Instagram, sharing it, and I've been getting some good response from that. Should I keep doing it? And the answer is yes. Right. Like, just because it's not part of my process doesn't mean it can't be yours. Right. It's just not the best use of time for me, right? It doesn't mean that I wouldn't use it in the future, but make sure that you look at your platforms, what makes the most sense. But I would not spend an hour posting everything. I would try to get a process in place that you can then share the main thing. But I wouldn't put the piece of content necessarily there. I would link to the piece of content which resides on the website. John, what's up, John? Good to see you, man. Other email platforms recommend waiting a week to resend emails to unopens. Have you tested different wait times before you resend to best open rate? Well, here's the deal, John. I'm going to send more than once a week, right? If you're sending once a week and you want to wait a week, you can. I wouldn't wait that long. I would do I think at a regular rhythm, I would say probably like Monday. If you send an email Monday, then I might do one on Wednesday. I normally will send out Monday morning, let's call it 9 o'clock. And then Tuesday morning, 9 o'clock to the unopens. But here's the other thing. I'm sending more than one email a week. If you do the once a week, that means you're only going to send one email a week, right? Because you're going to wait. You're not going to send another broadcast in the middle there, right? Because you're sending it to the entire list. So, I mean, to each its own. I wouldn't personally do that. I think it's just too long. I don't think you need to wait that long. I think it would be 24 hours to 36 hours would be what I would prefer. Jake, yes. Okay, cool. And okay, so John does say, yes, we have a few thousand on our list and email them weekly. Okay, cool. So if you are emailing them weekly, John, then what I would suggest is like emailing them on that first day. I would wait 3 days, 4 days max. I wouldn't wait that long, honestly. But, you know, I would encourage you to probably do maybe one on the front end, one on the back end. If you got enough content that you're creating, why not send one Monday and Friday? You know, why not? All right. So that's what I would think about doing there. Jake, sending daily in the new parent niche. Okay. That's good. And so you're sending daily. So the only thing with sending daily is then it doesn't allow you to do the send to unopens. There's a huge opportunity that people are missing out on with not sending to the unopens. So Jake, I might slow that down and go every other day. And then that way there you can send to the unopens. And you'll be amazed. You might get a 15% open on the first email. And then by sending the unopens, you'll get another 6-7%. So you're missing a whole section of your list there because you're sending daily. Let's see here. Derek. Yes, but how do you keep people from getting your emails to sell you instead? Because I see that it's happening. Should I create an email for a site that has my domain in it for all the site? How do I tag it so I know that this email is for? I'm not quite sure I understand the question, Derek. Maybe you can simplify it for me. I'm trying to distill this as I'm reading it. How do you get people from getting your emails to sell to you instead? So I think what you're saying is, how do you segment yourself in someone else's list? I'm not quite sure I understand the question, Derek. Paul, yes, building a list, 80 or so subscribers so far. Congratulations, Paul. Just from organic traffic, great. Lead magnet is beginner ebook instructional guide. Only sending weekly blog posts, alert, blurb emails at the moment, but have been working on some other follow-up sequences to add in. I like that. But what I think what you're saying is you're doing something inside of your email platform that sends out, like when you do an email or when you do a blog post, it will kind of do a blurb on it. I would do that yourself. I would just write a quick little intro email, like maybe a paragraph even, and just a nice little catchy title and send that out once a week then. But It's better than nothing, but I would prefer you to not send like their feature inside that does like alerts when you do a new blog post. I just like the control the other way. Derek, 40 days without processed foods is focusing on the gut now. What is the best email and subject line should I use for it? What would be the best lead magnet for this? 40 days without processed foods. Okay, so again, I would go with something like 5 foods to avoid for better gut health, right? Or 5 must-have foods in your diet for better gut health. Or read this if you want better gut health. Like, that's where I would go. I wouldn't overwhelm people thinking that it's 40 days, right? So I would just try to clean that up. Good morning, Jennifer. Better late than never. Yes, it's always. Paul says, great information, very practical. You know what? Simplifying is my main thing here, guys. You got to keep it simple. Let's see. Salama, do you automate emails or write individual emails? We have an onboarding sequence. So usually there's going to be at least 4 to 5 emails in that sequence. Then from there, it depends, because we could then drop them into what we call a deadline sequence. So if we are doing some type of offer on the back end, then we will have a deadline sequence that will go in place there. We're not going to get into that right now because it's getting a little bit more complicated. For you or anyone else that's just starting, build a 3 to 5 email sequence that will basically follow up with them until they reach the end, and then dump them into a main list bucket where then they will become part of your broadcast messages. That's what I would recommend. What do you think about having an app and you can have notifications sent and get them a quick response when they email you? No, I wouldn't do that. Make it where maybe once a day in the morning or in the evening at the exact same time, that is your follow-up time. If you do that, Derek, I'm telling you right now, you're going to be looking at your phone every 5 minutes. You're going to be distracted. I know you have a family. It's not going to be good for you or them. So just dedicate a time every day and take 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and then that's your email back to people. People are okay with that. They don't need that. Now, if you're selling a product and they have a problem with it, you might want to have a customer support email in there. That's different. Okay. How do you create playlists in YouTube? It's pretty simple. If you're inside of your YouTube channel, you're just going to go into the Creator Studio and you're going to see playlist. You're going to click on that and it'll say create a new playlist. And that's it. It's pretty simple. Okay, cool. Altine, I think it is. I don't know if I pronounced your name right. I apologize if I didn't. Hey, Scott, I've been blogging for about 4 months and currently averaging 4,000 page views per month. Awesome. I need help niching my blog. Well, okay. So what I would encourage you to do is, number one, if you have not went through the validation checklist that we have, which is really about niching down, I would definitely recommend going through that. So that's brandcreators.com/checklist. I would go there. Brand creators, the playbook would also be a very good use of your time. And you can get that by going over to brandcreatorsbook.com. It's kind of hard for me to kind of know what to even tell you without knowing your niche and where you are and kind of like how high up in the niche you are and how much deeper we can go. So again, that would be the way that I would do it. Okay. And then the follow-up here was, I know that Brand Creators Academy is currently closed. Do you offer coaching calls or maybe a live blog review? I do not currently do anything outside of the academy. I do have, in-person like retreats, but we're not doing those right now just because of the whole, COVID thing. But yeah, I don't have anything right now, but you know what? Send me an email, scott@brandcreators.com. And I can definitely let you know if there's anything that opens up. And we can just do a live blog review and share it either on the podcast or even on one of these coffee talks. Okay. Derek, I bought the Brand Creators book and I'm going to print it out. Perfect. Derek, when you print it out, take a screenshot with it and send it to me. I want to see it. All right. Make sure you do that. Let's see. Okay, Nicholas, I'm not to the point of building an email list yet, but I'm excited for the process and can't wait to get an email list built. So Nicholas, let me ask you this. Why don't you think you're at the point yet? Because a lot of people don't think they're at the point and they might be. So I'm just curious, what is your sticking point? Why are you thinking you aren't ready? Salomon, do you set up automated emails for launches? No, I don't. I don't do that. The only thing that would be the auto on that would be if you sign up for a lead magnet that leads into the launch, then that would be an auto message that would say, here's your download, here's what to do next, right? But I do not. I like to have a pulse on what's happening, right? I like to know and see what the conversation is. I like to write and then craft a new email that's going to maybe address some concerns, right? So yeah. Let's see. Okay. People are getting my email and selling to me. Derek, I know we've talked about this before, man. You got to stop signing up to just some other courses or whatever you're into. I don't know, man. I don't know what to tell you on that other than maybe just scrap your email and get a new email and be very careful with who you give your email to. Because I don't know anybody that's selling emails. I know it happens, but I've never been a part of that. So I don't know. And if I ever get emails from people that are just, it seems like that's happening, I'll just mark it as spam or I'll just get it unsubscribed. Nice one on and I appreciate the feedback there, Scott. No problem, Paul. And Octavio, who's one of our Academy members, says resending to unopened opens is genius. I get 25 to 50% more opens by sending to unopens 1 to 2 days later. Do it. Thanks, Octavio, for that. Salma, do you use a template for your weekly emails or type a new one every week? I type a new one every week, but I do follow the similar framework, right? People are going crazy with COVID-19 promotions. They are, but you might want to get out of that loop. Get out of that loop, Derek. Yeah, send me a screenshot of you with the book. That'd be awesome. Yeah, Altine, just send me an email. Send me an email, scott@brandcreators.com. Let me know a little bit more about your niche and stuff. And who knows, maybe we could do a deep drill down here on the Coffee Talk. How often do you write your emails? How long does it take? For brand creators, I'm doing 3 a week, usually Monday, Wednesday, Friday. But sometimes, once a week, sometimes twice, but usually 3 times a week. My other brands, it's anywhere from 1 a week to 3 a week, but nothing less than 1 a week. Let's see here. Faith. Hey, Scott, my DIY niche uses more video than how to articles, but I don't want to be slowed down by having to create my own videos. Is it okay to start by pointing to other experts' videos? Yes, it is. But what I would recommend doing then is maybe embed that into a blog post where you give a more detailed how-to, and that way there you're not on camera, but you can actually do a detailed deep dive yourself on breaking that process down. So that's what I would do. And yes, as part as you have this down here too, as part of the lead magnets and email follow-ups, you totally can do that. So that's another thing I didn't even mention. If that YouTube video is not yours, you can still send people there. And you might be like, well, Scott, why would I send people away from where, I can direct them to my website? Well, if you don't have anything to send them, give them something of goodwill, something that they're like, oh, well, that person just sent me something valuable. Thank you for that. It's like if I had a friend and I said, hey, there's this cool video I just seen where this guy was catching more bass using a certain kind of bait or whatever. I would share it, right? It doesn't mean it's mine. And then my friend's gonna be like, cool, man, thanks for doing that. That was awesome, right? So that's what we're talking about. So you don't have to worry about it being just yours. Send them something. Send them something, anything, right? And that will help you. How long does it write to write the emails? It depends. Sometimes it'll take me 15 minutes. Sometimes it'll take me an hour. It does depend on that. But if I'm in a hurry because I got to get out, like today, I wrote my email yesterday, last night. So it was ready for this morning. Cause I knew I was going to be kind of jammed up this morning with time and stuff. So I got to prepare for that stuff. But then I sent it out this morning. So that's what we would do on that. So, all right, guys. So that is going to pretty much wrap up this Friday jam session. I want to thank you guys who attended here live. If you guys want to attend a future jam session, well, you need to be here on our coffee talks, and they happen Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, but Friday is dedicated to our Friday jam session. And that's where I do open Q&A just like we did here today. So make sure that you head over to takeactioncrew.com. Again, that's takeactioncrew.com. And you'll be able to go over there and you'll be part of our Take Action Crew. And then the other thing is if you want to go through our playbook right now, all you need to do is go to brandcreatorsbook.com and you can download it. I would recommend printing it out. It's 107 pages and it's detailed out from market validation all the way to building your website out. What is the bare minimum that you need to do to get it up and running, how to build really the infrastructure, and then start creating content, then start building the email list, right? And then we talk about monetization. So it's all in there in sequential order, step by step. So again, brandcreatorsbook.com. Check it out. And once again, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me here on this Coffee Talk. And if you want to join us in the future, head on over to takeactioncrew.com. All right, guys, that is going to wrap it up officially. I wanted to make that cut there at the end because that'll be for my video editor. But yes, I wanted to just say thank you guys for hanging out with me. And it looks like another question popped in. Please do more niche drill downs. I will. If you guys have any niche drill downs that you want me to do a niche drill down of, just post it in the comments and I will consider doing it. Yeah, Debbie, no problem. And thank you. Yes, safe travels home. Yes. It should be. It's during the week, so we should be okay. And we're getting out on a decent time. So again, want to thank everyone for hanging out today. This has been awesome. And thank you guys for hanging out this week too with me and sharing my little granddaughter, which was pretty awesome. So I want to thank you guys for doing that as well. And guys, I'm going to jump. So we will be back here Monday. Okay, Monday we will be back. And I already have the topic that I'm going to be talking about, by the way. So I'll throw it out there. Again, the thread here and the theme is email marketing. All right. So email list building landing page #1 mistake. I'm going to show you actually what it looks like as far as when you build a landing page. Okay. And that landing page has one purpose only. What does that look like? And what is the mistake, the #1 mistake that I see a lot of people making? And I'm going to share that with you. Very simple, but a lot of times it's overlooked and it's no fault of anyone's. It's just you haven't been taught yet. So I'm going to teach you that one big mistake to avoid and how you can have better success when you have your landing page with your lead magnet. All right. So that's what we're going to be talking about on Monday. So come back and join me Monday, 10 a.m. Eastern time. And we'll see you guys there. All right. So have an awesome, amazing day, weekend, whatever time it is, or wherever you are in the world, and stay safe out there. All right. So again, take care, take action, and I'll see you soon. I'll see you Monday. Take care, guys. Bye.